There are many different slices of DOE, and one of those slices is chemical mixtures. Those of you in the chemical industry are certainly familiar with formulations and working with mixtures. And if you learn about DOE, you'll recognize that there is a class of tools in that chemical mixture space. They are unique matrices. They are not the conventional factorial tools. They are designed in a way that it's the proportions and the ratios are what matters. Instead of looking at a cube like you would in the traditional DOE tools, these graphs are more in a triangular shape. So they're constrained, the components of the mixture are constrained together because it's not the absolute quantity, it's the relative amount of those that's most important. So they are a different matrix. My opinion is, and there's basically two schools of thought, using those exclusively when you're doing a chemical mixture, or trying to use the standard factorial tools. And what I've found in situations I've been in, using the standard factorial tools and putting the ratios in as an input variable works very similarly to the chemical mixture setup. There are some people that say that's a terrible approach, but I'm not sure exactly even where they're coming from on it, other than they don't understand the other tools. When I've done that in several situations, and I've got a wide experience personally as well as coaching projects, using this factorial tool and ratio approach works really well because a lot of the interpretations, the graphical optimization techniques, all those things are really powerful in software in the factorial tools and may or may not translate directly into the chemical mixture space. So you can use a lot of the power within software if you stay with the factorial tools. And at least in my opinion, if you're close to a desired solution or formulation, using the ratio approach puts you in the ballpark. And you can fine tune with the factorial approach, again, with the ratios involved. I've talked with different people working in different industries, and people that exclusively do chemical engineering and chemical mixture and formulation work. They said the only time that they would broach doing a chemical mixture DOE is if it's an absolutely brand new formulation, never been done before. But if you're modifying something that's existing, that there's no need for the pure chemical mixture DOE approach. And they use exclusively, near exclusively, the factorial approach with the DOE. And if you've gone through my training or some of the other videos, one of the things I talk about is you don't start any DOE, or you don't start any development with the DOE matrix. You start by what I call playing around first. You have some ideas, you start playing with those ideas, and you develop them to a point, quote unquote, just playing around on the bench before you get structured. So to me, even if you do have something brand new, it's still never brand new by the time you start the DOE. You're starting the DOE with something that's evolved based on the knowledge and experiences you have. Anything brand new, I don't think you need to set up a giant matrix to get there. I think you just play with it, experiment, explore, and then as you go through that exploration, you're getting closer to a solution, and the factorial approach works. Not that I can't discuss the unique matrices with you and how to interpret them and some of the differences that there are. I can train to it. I've worked with people on it. But the factorials, they carry over, and also allows you very cleanly to include process variables such as temperature and pressure, so that the chemical piece, the chemical mixtures in form of ratio, and the more so-called standard process variables that are controllable and not a ratio in themselves can be all included very simply into the matrix without going to more complicated tools and more complicated ways to look at things. Every interaction is still possible in the factorial space, And again, the optimization tools and the ability to jump into other applications as well exists. If you're in a situation where you're not sure which way to go or what situation you're in, as far as using a chemical mixture, using a standard factorial approach on your situation, call us at Perry Solutions. We can talk through the options, the goods and the bads of your specific situation, where you stand, and get the best, quickest path forward so that you can get your formulation where you need to be competitive.